Hello and welcome to a new episode of Mostly Engineering and another part in our Enigma build series. And today I want to give you a little update where we are on the production of the parts for the remaining 4 rotors. And by producing the parts I also found a lot of friction points in the lathe process when we are producing parts at somewhat of a scale. So the second part of the video will be about all those friction points and how I'm intending to update the lathe to reduce them. So with no further ado, let's go over to the workbench and look at the parts and then go over to the lathe so I can talk you through the improvements I'm planning to do. So, and here we have the parts we finished so far, and you can see that the majority of parts is done. And last weekend I really rushed to finish all the CNC parts, finish all the 3D printed parts, so that I don't need to go to the workshop anymore, because at the moment I started to work on production. So I'm building sets, building props. Really interesting work to do, and I learned a lot. So last Friday I learned how to weld, so really nice. But that also means that I have an 11-hour workday every single day, and getting to the studio takes an hour, getting home takes an hour. So you see there's not much time of the day left, and definitely not enough time to go to the workshop. So I'm happy that I finished everything I need the workshop for, and now there are only the tasks left that I can also do at home. So if I come home and still have a little bit of energy, I can do the task that still needs to be done. So making the pins, what I'm doing at the moment, drilling the holes for the clamps, tapping all the holes, painting the 3D parts, and so on and so forth. And talking about time, what you see here is about 30 hours of working time and about 4 or 5 days of machining time, where the 3D printer is doing its thing and the CNC is doing its thing. So quite a lot of time, and there are basically 2 components that eat up the majority of the 30 hours. So we have the pins, and for the production the solution here is very likely outsourcing. When I finish with them, I will run the numbers, but I think this is a clear thing to outsource this and make these parts really cheap for us, especially as we need for a full set of 5 rotors. We are already in the range of thousands pins, so yeah, that's probably the way to go. And the other big time eater are the sleeves. So all 4 sleeves took about 12 hours to machine, so 3 hours for each single part. And this is quite a taxing task, and you have to be concentrated all basically every single minute of the 3 hours. And it doesn't work all the time, so sometimes your concentration slips. So happened on this sleeve, and it looks normal, but if you take it to a next sleeve, and you will see, I hope it's visible on the camera, that this sleeve is an entire millimeter too short. So concentration slipped, I put in a false measurement, and now the part is too short. Now for the prototype version, I can live with it. It's not nice, but I can live with it. But for the production version, that would be unacceptable. So we need to find a way to make this process more streamlined and more failure proof. And this brings us straight to the lathe improvements I'm planning to do. So these parts are manufactured on the big lathe, and this machine isn't mine, so I can't really do a lot of modifications to it, or modifications at all. So what we are going to do here to streamline the process are some custom gauge blocks, so that we put in our round stock, then make a 0 cut, and then put a gauge block between the sled and our stop, therefore aligning the stop without the need to measure, out the potential of a measurement error, put it in quick and easy, and so we know we hit our marks on all the measurements each and every time without the need to put in a lot of thought. And this will make this process easier. And for the little pins, we have our lathe over here, and there I have quite a bunch of improvements in the making. So let's go over there and I talk you through it. So, welcome to the lathe. And the first thing you probably spot is that this lathe is really, really dirty. And so it's in desperate need of a cleaning. And we have to actually do this really regularly because at the moment I can't see the tooltip. Also, there's already a lot of chips in here, and that throws off our measurement. So cleaning it regularly is strictly necessary, but it's a little bit annoying because this amount of chips you see over here is the result of just 4 or 5 pins to turn. So you have to do it quite regularly. And so the solution to this problem is I will design a holder here where we can put a vacuum in. So when the chips are born, they all get vacuumed away, and then we will probably have a little cyclone over here in order to collect all these chips, because actually they have a really nice texture for some model work, for some diorama work, and also you can use these fine chips to mix them in with your 2-component resin in order to make the resin heavier, or if the chips are fine enough, you can polish the resin in order to get a nice metallic sheen. And this is a method we will probably use on some of the parts for the reversing drum. So it's worth collecting these chips. So this is one project. Then the next annoyance with the machine is the tailstock, and you bring in your tailstock and then you take an Allen wrench and tighten it down, and it's not a big problem, but to be fairly honest, it gets annoying a little bit. So I am planning to design a quick release mechanism over here to make this a little bit more convenient. I'm not entirely sure how to do it yet, but we will see. And another point is usually I need the tailstock in kind of this position, and then the compound slide is always in the way of tightening this up. So next point is the compound slide. It's in a lot of times it's a way to tighten our stops over here, to tighten the tailstock, and all this real estate hanging out here is in the way, and I never ever used this compound slide. So at the moment it's like tightened as tight as possible in order to get the most rigidity on the tool holder. So the project over here, and this is probably the first one I'm going to tackle, is to design a solid toe post to replace all of this. And this solid tool post should have some more tricks up in the sleeves than just saving a little bit of space over here and making the whole tool a little bit more rigid. As you can see, our quick change tool post has 2 holes. One is always in use in order to tighten the tool, and the other one is free. And what we have on the tool post is a hole pattern, and so in the hole we aren't using, we can drop in a pin, and this helps us to align the quick change tool post at a discrete angle. So perfectly 90 degrees, perfectly 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, something like this. And lastly, we have a little problem with our handles over here. So as you can see, I had to remove the little handle over here because the weight of it can actually throw it out of balance and then move the wheel enough that we have that we can't hold it precisely. So I removed the handle, and now I can move it this way. what actually gives you a lot of really nice fine control over the position of our sled over here. So that's really nice, but this wheel is a little bit uncomfortable to grip, so I will design a wheel that is better to grip, that is bigger, nicer to grip, and where we have a handle that is nicely balanced over here. And this will not only be a project for this handle, but also for the other handles over here. And lastly, an improvement I did so far is get another lamp. So the original plan was to have more light here as a tool, but I discovered that by putting the lamp directly on the indicator is so much easier to read, so it stays there. And yeah, lastly, the improvements that we made so far, so the stops and the indicator holders are like really nice to work with. So, and here we are with the project and what is to come in the near future. What I'm also doing on the side at the moment is redesigning the visuals for the channel. So hopefully on the next video you will already have a nice new intro for the channel. And also I'm designing the thumbnails new so that it's a little bit more consistent with the channel over different projects. So at the moment, as you can see here for the Enigma project, I envision a little bit of an engineering drawing and then a picture of what we are doing at the moment. And for other types of projects, as for example the toolpath will probably be, we'll have a little bit of a different engineering drawing, a different color, so that you can see it's a different project but still the same channel. So let me know what you think about it, and if you have questions, comments, as always, let me know down below and I try to answer them as quickly and correctly as possible. And all that's left to say now is thanks for watching and see you at the next time. Bye bye.